Happy Sabbath once again.
Happy Sabbath.
The mission report is entitled as Money for Missionaries. Money for Missionaries. If you have a Sabbath with us, then you can turn with me to page 37. You can follow with me. The plan was ambitious. Send 25 missionaries couples from South America to share the gospel in the countries of the 1040 window. I listened intently as Elton Cohen, President of the South American Division, President of Missionaries to the World Initiative, to 87 Adventist leaders from across South America at the division's headquarters in Brazil's capital, Brasilia, in 2014. Pastor Cohen spoke about the challenges the Adventist Church has faced in the Middle East. I mentioned the lack of financial and human resources. Our division could help by sending 25. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I mentioned the lack of financial and human resources. Our division could help by sending 25 married couples and covering all their expenses, including their airfare, food, and insurance. For 5 years' term, Pastor Cohen invited us to support the initiative financially. Each of us served as the president of the conference or mission in the South American mission. I was the president for the Central West Argentina mission, a small territory with little money. We were dependent on the Argentina conference to make ends meet. Pastor Cohen suggested that a contribution be determined by how many members we had. But not all conferences and missions have the same financial situation. I thought another problem was the difference between official church membership and the number who attended church regularly. In my mission, official membership was 10,000 people, but in reality only 5,000 members were to attend a church daily, every Sabbath. I had to make a pledge. My heart pounded as I considered the issue. I knew something. That suggested contribution was high compared to the size of a budget. The mission treasurer was not with me to ask whether we could afford it. I didn't have much to pay. With a prayer of faith, I pledged to donate the suggested amount to the territory with 10,000 members. Then I tested the treasurer, this is what we have to do. He immediately tested me, okay. He also wanted to support the project. 2 weeks later, a big surprise awaited me in my office. A member unexpectedly sold some property and returned a large tithe. The tithe amounted to 3 times more than the funds we had given to the Division Missionaries Initiative. I firmly believe that the first person who benefits from the act of giving is the giver. The South American Division Missionary Initiative ended up with blessing church members in the Central West Argentina mission. That most of all. What testimony, right? God in His own infinite mercy wants to open the doors. He just opens the door and you see what of the blessings will be flooded. And that's what is absolutely when the Lord really opens the way. So that's the beauty of this week's mission report. How many have gone through the lesson this week? Facing opposition. One of the most toughest thing, right? How many of us face oppositions? All the time, everyone. Every time. Newton's third law always implies here, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, for good there is always bad. For anything that you have, oppositions. And I faced through a lot when I was there, most probably in the pastoral ministry for nearly now, at the moment, I started continuing my missionary journey. Even here in the US, most probably now it is 19 long years in the mission field. I know what opposition is all about and how we have to face. And most probably when I get into the days of the churches with 10 members to nearly 300 to 400 members, either it might be small or big, the oppositions are always there. And memory text is taken from Ezra chapter 5, verse 5. But the eye of their God was upon the elders of the Jews, and that they could not make them cease till a report could go to the rise. Then a written answer was written concerning this matter. keeping this into consideration, if you have gone through the lesson, you'll be able to find out what Ezra and Nehemiah, how these people really strived and struggled, even though the Lord was there with them, to complete the mission, what the Lord has instilled in their heart. And we could see the time prophecy exactly fulfilling the way how the Lord really wanted to. So which means God has already planned certain things, provided if you and I could be able to trust in His name and move forward. What we could look into the book of Ezra and Nehemiah is how they went forward. Very important. They never curtailed themselves, saying that there is an opposition. There is something which is coming in front. There is nothing that I can do. No. Many times when you become a leader, you will really face the doldrums. Moses leading the children of Israel was not an easy task at all. Every individual was talking something absolutely different. But when you want to accomplish the task which is given, don't ever forget what we can learn from the Old Testament time, and especially with Ezra and Nehemiah, is your dependence on God more than people. And the people were supposed to work. In Hindi we say they are hard. Right? But you see how God, in His own infinite mercy, has sustained them and helped them because of their dependence on Him, like Ezra and Nehemiah. It's a great lesson that you and I could be able to learn when we have oppositions from the local corners of every angle. And how much of faith do we still instill in order to see that our goals, what the Lord has instilled in each one of our heart, will be accomplished. If you have to look into Ezra, verse 3 and 6, the stretch thematically. Okay, and you'll be able to find Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. Ezra's name is mentioned the first time in Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. And compare that with, again, a very, very important task given to Ezra and Nehemiah. The first time the name of Ezra is written in Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. He comes to the scene in 457 BC. That's what we looked into last 2 weeks. And things changed because the city wall of Jerusalem started to build, take root somewhere. 13 years later, Nehemiah arrived. I told you the date. In 444 BC, Nehemiah comes into the scene. So the gap between 457 to 444 is 13 long years. So Ezra and Nehemiah period is been nearly 13 long years. But you see what happens. And the building of the wall was finally resumed. Although there was intense opposition to rebuild the wall, you see, from 444 BC, you take from Ezra, it is 457, that's the time it came, Ezra 7:1. And Nehemiah comes into the picture in 444, 13 years gap, where they both enjoying themselves in manifesting what the Lord had been told them to do. It took nearly 52 days to build. That's what it means to say. That's what we find in Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 15. 52 days they could accomplish in building. You see from the beginning, resistance to God's word is always there. There's no way that the Lord's word will smoothly go on the way how it's supposed to, even though the Lord is there with us. When opposition was absolutely very intense throughout the surrounding nations and throughout the hierarchical power, I remember one verse in 2 Corinthians. The Bible says it very clearly. Paul mentions this absolutely very clearly. He says, we fight against principalities and rulers of darkness where this mortal eyes can't see. We don't know how the fight is happening between good and evil, between Satan and God. So you and I become an agent when we want to fulfill the mission of what the Lord really wants us to. It is not that you are giving a trouble for me. It is not that you are trying to come and trouble me. It is what? The person behind you who is occupying you in every angle wants to see that the Lord's work has been distorted at every angle. If you and I can understand the power behind what is opposing, and then the only thing is you can't fight the opposition by your strength and might. Where's the strength? What we have to do? What did Ezra and Nehemiah do? When there was opposition, when there was difficulty, the only thing they did was what? Went to God and said, what can we do? How can we? What did the people say? Oh no, those people are trying to come and try to what? Well, a lot of things are going to happen. Now how can we go forward? No, we can't do that. We can't have opposition there. We can't do this. We can't do this. Because that's what the complaint is all about. Right? You take the children of Israel, they're only complainers. I want to ask you this question. In this 21st century, how is the Lord's children? Is it complaining? Why are we not being able to go about it? What is the answer? Oh, Pastor, that's the problem. Why are we not being able to do this? Oh, Pastor, that's the problem. Why will we not be able to at least come to church? Oh, Pastor, that's the problem. What is the problem? Problem is the problem. Somebody else said, problem is not a problem. You know what? What is problem? There was a definition given. What is problem? You know, a very beautiful answer. It is not that problem is a problem. Problem can be defined as something, absence of a solution, that's all. For anything, is there a solution? But you don't find that solution. If you and I don't find that solution, and it becomes a problem. But does every problem has a solution? Yes. Either good or bad, however it is. But we do have solution. The absence of your solution, and then when you have the problem, will increase in every area. And many a times, as you said, as humans, we fail to find solution or the absence of solution. That's again what we have to do. Go back to God. And that's what Ezra and Nehemiah did. 52 days they were able to build. Amidst opposition. I used to always wonder, Sister Mary, you know what? Even God is there right now. Why do you think so? Even God is there, why problem? And he did a lot of miracles, he did a lot of things where the all-powerful God created the whole universe. Why is there a problem? Why do you think so? There might be a problem. Even God is there with us. He knows, He's seeing. Last time I told this one, right? The main reason behind it is this. God doesn't take initiation in forcing issue. He allows evil to prevail sometimes. The only reason behind this, God wants to manifest His power. Irrespective of, even though the evil is high, which will win, the good will ultimately take it. Excuse me. What's actually late for me? Sorry. Okay, that's the way how it goes on. So, opposition begins in Ezra chapter 4, verse 1 and 5. On the surface, the request seemed like a kind of, okay, I want you to please read this one. It is very beautiful. It is very beautiful. Please turn your Bibles to Ezra chapter 4, verse 1 to 5. Ezra chapter 4, verse 1 to 5. We read that by word. And you should understand a very implicative method of how the opposition began before the completion of the wall in 52 days. Starting from the year, which year? 457. Okay. And then, when was Nehemiah come into existence? 444. Don't ever forget these 2 dates. 457, 444. Okay, please turn your Bibles to Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1 to 5. What does the Bible say? If you have your Bibles, I want you please to read. Ezra chapter 4, verse 1 to 5. Don't record it? Okay. Oh yeah, please read, sister. Ezra chapter 4, verse 1 to 5. I have an important thing here, and what happens here?
Chapter 4.
1 to 5.
Now, when the adversaries,
underline that word called adversaries. Okay. And what happened here? There are adversaries coming.
of Judah and Benjamin
Okay.
heard that returned exiles were building a temple to the Lord, the God of Israel. They approached Zerubbabel and the heads of the father houses and said to them, let us build with you, for we worship your God as you do. And we have been sacrificing to him ever since the days of Asa.
Okay. Artaxerxes. Okay.
No, that's my Artaxerxes. It is Asarhaddon.
Okay. Ashhaddon. Okay.
King of Assyria,
Mm-hmm.
who brought us here. But Zerubbabel, Joshua, and the rest of the heads of the fathers' houses in Israel said to them, you have nothing to do with us.
Okay, just stop there. You understood?
Yeah.
I know you never understood this one.
I understand.
No, you understood this? What is it saying?
They're saying, no, we don't need your help.
Yeah. Who are these people?
They're enemies, adversaries.
Enemies. Who are these enemies?
They are
From where did they come from?
Samaria.
Okay, please go to 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 21 to 24 to 41. Will be able to read what happened? Nebuchadnezzar king, when he got, led to exile, there were a lot of people. 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 24 to 41. So he not only had the children of Israel, he had what? All the other nations getting them to an exile. So what happened? So, I asked you to underline a word, right? What is the word? Adversaries. Why did I ask you to underline that word? For only one reason. The other name for adversary is what? Enemies. And they're telling, we are worshipping your God, we are sacrificing, we are trying to do a whole lot of things. So please, take a little help from us too. If you and I were there, if somebody comes to us and says, we want to help you. No problem, sir. Very happy that you are helping us. We are going to get one soul. We want to do this. We want to get things done. Come on, let's go ahead. Right? You see, no wonder Jesus said very clearly, be wise like a serpent and humble as a dove. Because our enemy, our adversary is there to spoil the church. The adversary or enemy is there to what? Destroy the temple of God. And what these people said? No, we don't want to. We don't want. So, Satan is like a rolling line. He's going to sneak slowly with a very beautiful way of how he puts it to. But no, when when that person is an adversary, be away from him. That's what Satan does. He said, no, we don't want to. Right? Because Satan would have had his upper hand if they would have get into the temple. They were going to ask for a lot of things. And Satan will use those people because they are unconsecrated people. Right, Sister Havda?
You said they got into the temple, but Nehemiah didn't allow them to.
That's what. No, I'm asking if they would have been allowed, or if these people would have asked for help from them, if they would have helped, building, things would have been different. Satan will use these people as a means to destroy in every and then. He never allowed. They said, no, we don't want to.
So they didn't want to bring idolatry.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. If just imagine, if these people would have allowed them to come and build the temple, what would have happened?
They'll bring all this.
They would have got all those stuff in their own way. And they said, okay, this is our right. We also have building. We also have a part in it. So they would have asked for their integrity. I don't know how things would have been happened. So they made a wise decision that we don't want it, because they are our adversaries. So what is the lesson that we can learn from this one?
How do we apply that this day?
How do we apply that?
To our days.
The first thing is we have to know who is our adversary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do we know? How do we know? How do you think so? Yeah, I have a assumption from the Bible. Okay, how do we know that these are adversary? How can we know? Okay, but I want to have an input. How do you think so that you know that I am your enemy? It's just amazing.
Well, I see that if they're not following my law as, the faith.
And they said, we won't follow.
Yeah.
And that's what they said, right? That's what they said. They said, we want to sacrifice. We are doing this for a long time. They were there.
And one reason says if they're not yoked equally.
Yeah, ultimately the solution is that, yeah. That's what Paul says. Do not unequally be yoked with. That's what it says in 1 Corinthians, I guess, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14. It is. Okay. 6 verse 14. How do we tackle this issue? How do we know who the person is all about? I'm telling you, this way. Anybody comes to the church, or anybody who comes into our life, when they want to take instantaneous decisions, if they are not of our faith, we are not shunning them away. But when they take an instantaneous decision to do something which is obligated for them to do, and say, yes, come on, let's go, we'll do that. Not knowing what to do, there's a problem. And that's one of the reasons even the church, what do we say? If a new believer is been baptized, we don't give them an opportunity of anything initially. Why? Let them learn. Let them sink in. Let them experience. Let them do. At the course of time of 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, you will certainly be able to come to know about certain things. And then you and I have the right to say, oh, this is right, this is wrong. That's not there. When you give an opportunity, say what happened now. Opportunity to retake the whole stuff and destroy. That's what happened with the children of Israel, right? When the children of Israel came out of Egypt, who all came? Even the Egyptians were saved. Jeremiah says this very clearly. Who are the people who murmured and moaned? It is not the children of Israel. You know who? And the people. What happened?
Why are you saying those children of Israel?
Once they started complaining, these people also lost their faith.
Yeah. So we have to be careful.
No wonder, 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14, what does the Bible say? Do not unequally be yoked with unbelievers.
And how will we spread the gospel to them?
Well, yeah, that's the reason the Bible says it very clearly. Be wise like the serpent and humble as a dove. We don't shun them. We love them. We care for them. That is entirely different from taking up responsibility.
Doing what they're slowly they will act as a friend and they will be there.
That might happen. The same thing happened. Like for example, take the children of Israel. God will report them. I know these people, they want to, try to create more havoc, and these are the ones who make the children of Israel to fall down. So I will allow them to just be that way. No. But when they obeyed at that moment, God gave them an opportunity. They gave up. I don't know how we're going to solve the mystery. But one thing is for sure. One thing is for sure. But you and I are supposed to be like Ezra and Nehemiah, when responsibility is being given. Just nearly 3 weeks ago, there was a little fight in Southern Asia, I think so, and I'm not so sure what was it, all the things like that. And there was one person there. You see, when unconsecrated men are consecrated, this is what is going to happen. Unconsecrated. When you say unconsecrated, which means they are not committed, for the consecrative work. Like for example, if men are not convinced about the real gospel, like for example, a person has been converted from a different religion who's not converted completely, he also has his own traits of his own religion. If he's been put in a main position, like a division president or somebody that's next to that, okay, that's what happens. So what I'm going to say is this: the simple phenomena, what God is being able to tell to each one of us in our life is this. Yes, we should not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, but at the same time, without any dispute, anything. God is the one who's going to judge, right? You and I know. But there's a work being given. And the conviction of another person depends on the Holy Spirit, not on individual. But we have to make sure that whatever it is, when the responsibility being given, I think so, we have to be very careful, because God's work in this last days will be different. A person like coming, sitting in the church, listening to God's word, and giving his life to Christ, and he fellowshipping with that is absolutely fine without any difficulty. Listening to God's word, being a partakers of evangelism, everything is fine. But when it comes to responsibility, making decisions, and that's what it means to say, we have to be absolutely. Any question? And then you're wasting, right? And that's what the Bible says in 20. Yes? Okay. Let's go into the Monday's portion. So what happened, unfortunately, here, when they said that we don't want to take their help, and they got offended. They got offended, and they started writing letters to the king. And again, the work was halted. Naturally, right? Same thing happened. Why did Lucifer came down from heaven, sir? Why do you think so Lucifer came down from heaven?
He was pushed out of heaven.
He was pushed out. Yeah, beautiful. But again, he used to go and come. General conference meeting, how we have, the same way we know that he used to go and come representing the world, because that's the reason Paul says he is called the prince of this. Or even the other name for him is God of this age. All mentions. God of this age. So he had an opportunity to go there. What she says? If you have to read the book of Story of Redemption, you'll be able to find one thing. Lucifer went again to heaven. And he said, please, Lord, I will repent. Once again, give me an opportunity that I could be there in the same position. Yeah? Story of Redemption. Okay.
Page number?
I will give it that. Okay? Story of Redemption. It says, he went and asked. But the Lord, in his own infinite mercy, he knew about what would have happened. And he said, I'm sorry.
That he will bring back another one.
So that's one of the reasons he was so much enraged. Naturally, anybody, once you come out of that place and once you start experiencing something which is different, and then pray to God, Lord, let me be part again. Please help me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a common understanding. Now, once when he was pushed out, when he came and experienced everything, do you think so he would have been happy? No, you would have thought the same thing, like, how nice would have been there. So he went and recants again. And God says, no, sorry. For various reasons, for what he had, I'm telling you. What happened there? Actually, okay, you've done this for me, let me take care. Why do you think so we're fighting against principalities and rulers of darkness? This is the reason. This is the reason. You see? If that's the case, God gave an opportunity once again to the cross, right? If Jesus was there, you Satan would have been repentant or recanted and said, okay, I'll stop you, I've got an opportunity. But did he do that? No.
So it's the story of redemption even before the cross.
Which one?
Whatever you said, the story of redemption.
No, if you have to read the spiritual gift books like Great Controversy, Desire of Ages, all these are. Yeah, all these are Bible spiritual gift books, okay. And in that, there are compilations of what Jesus wrote. And the same way in the story of redemption, the same thing is when you read the first and the second chapter. I will get you today, sir, then you will be able to know about it. Exactly how it has been told about it. It is so pathetic. We are taking into consideration of what the lesson is talking about today. What happened? These people, once they were rejected, they started making letters to the king, the lions again, and all these people. False allegations against them. If you have to look into the Sabbath school lesson, you'll be able to find it very clearly. It is, Ezra 4, 6 and 22. Okay? And Haggai chapter 1. In all these chapters, it is beautifully telling that the opposition that the Jews encountered from the surrounding nations as Nebuchadnezzar was left them afraid and unwilling to work on the temple. Because they were thinking, if we started helping these people to build the temple, they already witnessed who our God is all about. He's all powerful, all great. And once they establish here, what happens? They start writing letters to the liars and all the other people. You know what they said? These are the people who doesn't pay taxes. These are the people who makes abomination on our gods. If you try to get them here, then what will happen? You will not be faithful. What similar incidents happened when Jesus was dying on the cross of Calvary. Before he could die. Why do you think so? Pilate, he washed his hand. What was the allegation to Jews, to these people, to the king? What did they say? Everybody are following Jesus Christ. If this happens, who will follow you? What about King Nebuchadnezzar? What happened with him? Why was he so much furious and then he said, okay, let me put Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into them. Okay, you are the one. Is this not the Babylon that I have built? What was the main target of Satan? He wants to take the position of God, right? What are the kings trying to do? If anybody wants to take the position of them, then you have difficulty. Have you heard about King Herod? When Jesus was born, what happened? Please show me the king so that I also will what? But usually what was behind? Why did he kill all the firstborn? What about Hezekiah? He prayed and asked God, please extend 15 years for me. Sorry, extend my life. Why do you think so he extended? He was very much worried about, if I die, who's going to be the next king? Why is he bothered about? Not you, right? Which means he didn't have children. So when Manasseh was born, and when he came to the throne, he was there 13 years. He's the longest rule king. Everybody are worried about what? Position. I want to be there, I want to be there, I want to be there, I want to take up, I want to do this. Everybody, I want to be the treasurer, I want to be the pastor, I want to be the administrator, I want to be that. I know when Jesus showed an example, says, I am here, but I'm coming here. Example. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? When these people started writing letters and again, we're talking about oppositions. And I told you in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14, we are fighting against principalities and rulers of what? Darkness. 2 Corinthians. Opposition started. And then the work stoppage. Listen to this one. When the work was stopped, God didn't keep silent there. He sent a person called Haggai, Zechariah, to encourage the people to re-establish the promises. Why do you think so? The promises are there in the Word of God. In time of distress and difficulty, you can rely upon them. That makes sense? Why do we need prophets? Why do we need prophets? Why do God send prophets? To encourage you and me. Many times in this last day church, we shun Ellen White. You don't want her at all. Everybody talk about Ellen White. Why should we be able to listen to her? But people forget that she was a prophetess by God ordained in the last days to what? Lead and guide the church when the work of the Lord is not going on the right direction. When the work of the Lord is still just that way, stop. You need somebody to encourage, right? God sends Haggai and Zechariah to encourage his people. When the work was stopped, God never stopped. And he says the prophet Haggai and Zechariah were raised up to meet the crisis. In stirring up testimonies, these appointed messengers revealed to the people the cause of their troubles. The lack of temporal prosperity was the result of the neglect to put God's interests first. When will the Lord's work be stopped? Usually, when we put our interest, it is this way. You do something good in a selfish motive. It's bad. You okay with that? Sister Mary, when you try to do something good with a bad motive, it's bad. But the work outside seems to be good. Wow, it's good. It's very nice. Wow, he's trying to help people. But the motive? Because God sees the heart. So the progress of God's work even depends on the motive. That make sense? God is cautioning us every time. Then, the lack of temporal prosperity was the result of the neglect to put God's interests first. The prophet declared, had the Israelites honored God and they shown him due respect and courtesy by making the building of his house the first work, they would have invited his presence and blessings. Many a times what we think is my family, my work, everything, let me take care of it, everything is full. What is the leftover we will try to give to God. Don't ever make that mistakes. God always asks the best. Why do you think so? Moses never entered into the Canaan's land. He put his interest first. To take anybody, their interest. Me, my family, my life. Yes?
I think about it sometimes like that, but now it is changing.
It's a human nature. That's the way how it is.
Where is the mind?
Which one, sir?
Where is the mind?
That's the mind.
Because if I don't, I have to take care of myself first in order to help somebody.
Yeah, the problem is, it is not bad to take care of oneself first. But the problem is, we put our self-interest first. Okay? And the foremost and the more important is given, so we neglect.
Well, we have to do that in order to gain a certain amount of wealth in order to help somebody.
It's not about wealth, it's not about honor. The simple phenomena, what the Bible is trying to say is, when you see others in a position of something which they are in need. That's what the Bible says. You have if you have 2 shirts, I have two shirts.
He has to.
No, he said he has to
He
be 2
has
shirts.
to get the second shirt in order to take it.
So what we say is like, what we usually think is, I have only 2 shirts. If I had 3 shirts, then I would have given 1 to him so that I can keep it 2. I'm just giving a small example, which are not so handy here. But the important is this, what is that kind about. Put God first in every angle. Love God first. If you love God first, if you put God first, what happens in meantime is He will show you where to go. You agree with that? He will tell what to do. Number 3, He will say whom you have to meet, and He will guide you to. So when He shows, brother, there is something here, you go and you go. How will you be able to listen to God? Unless you connect with Him in a close relationship, you will never. It is all only my thought, my way, mine.
But when he says something,
This is what I'm talking about. When He says something and you don't do it, and then what happens? You're not giving promise to God. God doesn't need clothes. God doesn't need money. Doesn't He? But He will try to somehow, that's the way how the whole world has been functioning the way how He wants to, right? This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, the children of Israel. They put their interest, they started building their own houses, and they started to furnish their own houses, when the temple was absolutely in a ruined state. And on top of that, when there is opposition, what happens? They're giving excuses to what? Go and build the temple. What do you expect God to do? I have given you prosperity. What you have is not yours. Everything is I have given your wife, I have given husband, you have given children, He given strength, He gave health, He gave. Did you get my mind? Does that make sense, sir? That's what God is trying to tell each one of us every time. Put God first. And Haggai and Zechariah are reminding the children of Israel. I said, how can it be so cozy? That's what the lesson says. How can it be so cozy when people are suffering? How can it be cozy when the Lord's house is in ruin? How can you start giving excuses when you are not being able to what? Go forward. This is more practical lesson in our lives. What is faith? Unseen things, hope for what happens in reality, until and as we see, we don't want to go forward. Until and as it happens, we don't want to go forward. That's what it means to say. And when God called the Jewish nation to rebuild it, and He says, come on, I want to go. What happens many times? He says, when opposition comes and things like that, we abstain, we go to the closed door, and we only start praying, right? We don't know what to do, we just keep on praying. So, what did the children of Israel do the same thing there? They started giving excuses, most probably they also started praying. But faith without action is what? Later in the story, you'll be able to find, what happened? When Haggai and Zechariah came and stirred them up once again, what they did? They said, you're a family? Yes. How many people are there? 5 people. 2 people, take the sword, keep them. 2 people, I want to go and help them. Are you willing to? Yes, come. Because we are in a battle. They never said that, okay, there's opposition, there's difficulty, we are not being able to go about anything. So, let's curtail ourselves. No. They didn't do that. When Haggai and Zechariah came, they stirred them up and says, come on, we're not giving up praying. You know the promises of the word, You know what God has done in the past, so why are you afraid? If that's the case, enemies are coming, we also will be ready for the battle. Who is the one who's going to fight the battle for us? The Lord. In an unusual way. So let us be prepared. When people are there working in a night, they guarded, they did everything. And they had sword, they had everything. Come on, if they come, we will fight. We know the promise of God. So which means action with faith yielded a lot of fruits. God wanted them to be tested in that happening. Later on, 52 days, constant work. When the prophets like Micaiah and Zechariah stirred them up, they started going forward. And did they complete the work? Where is opposition? Where was opposition? And the people who wrote letters, who did a whole lot of things, and they tried to threaten them, and a whole lot of things they were doing. Where are these people? Who controlled them? Who controlled them? God controlled them. Why did they control? Why did he control them? The only reason he controlled them because he saw the faith that of these people once again stirred up, and they were willing. Underline that word for what? Willing. What's the greatest lesson that we can learn today? When there is adversaries in the spiritual work, what we have to do? Faith and action has to go hand in hand. No wonder Ephesians, the Bible says, we should
You can't
have.
have one without the other anyway.
Yes, sir?
If you have no works, then you definitely don't have any faith.
Yeah. Because Abraham was saved not only by faith, he was called the father of faith because of what he did. What happens with being human is this, brother. We don't want to do. That is the problem. Why we don't want to do? Oh, brother, most people. Oh, brother, no money. Oh, brother, I can't. Oh, brother, I won't have food. Oh, brother, I preached a sermon once. Life is full of excuse or lies. Listen to this one. Beautiful, okay, I preach it. Life is full of either excuse or a lie. Like, for example, if I ask, brother, you're supposed to come to church at 9 o'clock. Why didn't you come today? If I ask you, what will be your answer, sir? Either it should be an excuse or a lie. Some guest came, or somebody came, or cat came in between. A lot of things we try to say. Yeah, that's the way, okay. Brother, you're supposed to, there's a person who is hungry. And I know that you passed through and you saw him and you smiled at him, but you had something you want to give or still give. Why, brother, you didn't give? Either it might be an excuse or a lie. Brother, you're supposed to take communion service today, and why? I was anticipating I want to wash your leg, but you escaped. What do you say? Excuse or a lie. But what God is doing? When He says go, don't stop. When He says stop, don't go. But when He says speak, don't be silent. But when He says be silent, don't speak. Just listen to Him happily. That's all. That's the saying which goes on this way. If we have to listen to the still small voice of Christ, turn down the world's volume. What is happening with us? The world's volume is so loud, you can't hear the small voice. Okay. Because God usually doesn't shout. Who is the one who shouts, Satan is like a roaring lion. Do you know what I'm going to say? Okay. So does it make sense, sir? Good. Okay. And then where were the enemies? Okay. And Nehemiah takes the action, and I like this one. The Jews could have stopped building once again because of the persistent opposition. But this time, instead of being overcome by fear, they held on the promise that God would fight for them. when we encounter opposition to the name of God and to our beliefs or to what God calls us to do, we should remember God will always fight for us.
Fight our battle.
Actually, that's not our battle system. When we want to do God's work, when we want to do God's work, okay, I'm just to see whether it makes sense, okay? Is it my work? Is it my work? No. If it is His work, if He has told me to do, and then who should take assist of me? Then why should we take credit?
That is the building of the church. Sometimes we have our own battles too, so God is fighting our own battles.
When you allow God to use you to do His work, He will fight your battle. That's what I mean. And that doesn't mean that, as we read, we will not have difficulties, we will not have problems and challenges and things like that, but no. We will be having. But silently God will be working because your concentration on who's working. His business. And what did Jesus say? I'm on my Father's business. I always believe one thing. You take care of God's work, God will take care of the family. But you take care of your family very well. You forget God's work. Then I don't know what to say. That's the example that we have. Any questions? Why is it so important to know that you are doing is God's will? Why is it so important to know that what you are doing is God's will? Thus, an important question is to ask, how do I know if what I am doing is God's will? How do you know? What I am doing is God's will. Because the Bible says, my ways are not your ways, my thoughts are not your thoughts, right? If that's the case, what is God's will? How do you know that this is God's will?
When you have these relationships with God,
Uh-huh.
direct our thoughts and
Absolutely right. He will direct our paths and He will make us know what is willing to do. Okay, doing the great work. You will be able to find in chapter 6, Nehemiah's life. Shalabalat, there's a person called Gehazi, they sent Nehemiah letters in order to get him to come them under the pretext of a meeting. However, the meeting was in the plan of Ono, which was in the enemy's territory, and thus gave away the true intent of the invitation. There is a person called Shalabalat, Tobiah, Geshem. They are looking for an opportunity that will last only until the wall is finished and the gates are shut. The Jews have the protection of a Persian king, Darius, you know that, right? Last time I told you. And therefore the enemies cannot conquer them and full frontal attack. You'll find all this in Nehemiah chapter 6. Very beautifully said. I don't want to just go to in details. But Nehemiah, even though there's letters coming up at the enemy's gate, he's not responding. They're trying to get him to the enemies. But it must have been frustrating to Nehemiah to have to deal with the opposition at every turn. He responds to them by stating, I am doing a great work. Now what does it mean? When the enemy is inviting Nehemiah to come at the table to talk with them and things to that, okay, the opposition is increasing in every angle. But he's standing there. Later on, he also got fed up and he says, I'm doing the great work at the moment. Last but not the least, he says, okay, when God set up a sanctuary service, He instituted the priesthood in order to keep the sanctuary holy and special in the minds of His people. He allowed only the priests to perform the duties inside the temple on His own. We have a hard time seeing the holiness of God. Therefore, God made provision to help the Israelites come into the presence of God with the reverence. Nehemiah knew that temple courts were for everyone, but not at the inner rooms. By his word about meeting inside the temple, Shemaiah not only shows himself to be a false prophet, asserting something that was contrary to God's directive, but he also exposes himself as a traitor. What does the Bible say? We had this question, right? What do with the heathens? Do not be unequally yoked, then how can God's word be spread to them, right? The inner work, that is the holies of the holies, should be done by whom? Priests, and priests alone, the ordained minister. And that's what the stand is about. Not for me. Not even for other Jewish community people that would be able to come there. No. Any questions? Is that simple? Very simple. Yes. Absolutely.
Because it was only for the priest to go and take it.
Absolutely.
That's why he said he won't go again.
Yes. What does it mean? And connect that with the sanctuary service, what happened? Why did God institute sanctuary service? Well, basically God wanted to show the whole community or the whole world that stating that He's God. Sorry. Right? But there's a specific task being given when it comes to that innermost part. That's what there is. When it says leadership, when it says delegation of responsibility, and then there's a specific thing on the subject. You, I can never take that for granted. Only He. When He made Saul the king, He. When He wanted David, He. When He chose Moses, He. You get my mind? That's what the sacredness is all about when it comes to that's all. Any question? What are the ways that we today, with no earthly sanctuary, can keep before us a sense of God's holiness? How does the realization of God's holiness, in contrast to our own sinfulness, drive us to the cross? Right? We'll look one by one. Very beautifully, it says, see, what are ways that we today, with no earthly sanctuary, we don't have an earthly sanctuary, we don't have a most holy place of things, right? Can keep us a sense of God's holiness. Now today we are worshiping. We don't have a sanctuary. But how can we recognize God's presence and His holiness?
We have two of them. One can be used by
You see?
once you finish, you
And the Lord is in His holy temple, let all the earth hear.
for closing time, then you take over and do it.
When you get into the church, make sure you mind your
Then
steps.
there's a benediction slide. After that,
You see?
goodbye slide.
Everything is in the heart. That how we perceive God. Amen. How does the realization of God's holiness, in contrast to our own sinfulness, drive us to the cross? She is not greater than Sister Mary. Miss Mary is not greater than the pastor. And I'm not so greater than Mr. Anand. Anand is not greater than. Okay, here anybody, we all are there. We all are come from short of the glory of God, irrespective of who we are or what the position we hold on. Irrespective of who we are. When you come to the presence of God, we are what? Absolutely equal. And the culmination of the whole message is this. We do have a cross. Everybody, either it might be Nebuchadnezzar, either it might be Herod, either it might be anyone on this earth. They all need the what? Cross. When cross is there before us, what is that we can understand? What is that we can understand? When you see the cross in front of us, what can we understand? That is there, but much more than that. Keeping our sinfulness in our mind. What is that we should realize? Such a great king, King of kings and the Lord of lords, Isaiah 53. He died on the cross. Compare that with our lives. What is God telling us? how great we are. Does that make sense? We see the cross, forgiveness, yes, that's there. But we have to not forget how great was God. When he became great? When he humbled himself to that extent, to the death of the cross. So, I can't say I'm a pastor. I can't say I have a big building. I can't say I have a Mercedes-Benz car. Can't say I can go wear the best suit that I can. When you see the cross, most probably we should rent our clothes. Any questions? Any questions? Last but not least, we sum up the whole lesson this way. When you are in the mission of Christ, opposition is absolutely sure. Till you complete your job, Satan will be working vigorously till the last. But how do you respond to the opposition is the lesson that we are getting.
Not only that we are working for Christ, even in our day-to-day lives, we have opposition from our co-workers and other people.
Why do you think so? Why do you think so? The co-workers and the people are opposing
But we are
you.
very close to God.
Amen. Again, and whose practice that?
So,
So it means, again, you calculate the whole history, again, that is not like our work. Because when you go even for work, what happens? You represent Christ, right? When opposition comes, he wants to make sure that you're angry, do something which is nasty, so that he can kill you. The crocodile's mouth. So what happens? That's the time where our faith has to be instilled in the Word of God, the promises instilled in the heart and mind, so that who's going to fight the battle? In the last days, Revelation chapter 12 verse 17 and 14 verse 12. The dragon was enraged with the woman, that's the church. He made war against the seed who keeps the commandments of God, have the faith of Jesus. So the battle is going to be what? Intense in the last days. The question is, when we read this lesson, it should give us and stir us and encourage us. We are going to have the last battle being fought. If you and I will experience these little battles in our lives, and then you are ready for the last battle. If you are not being able to face this little, small, tiny ghosts in our life, and then you and I will never be able to face the giant death like Goliath in the last. So God has already foretold what is going to happen in the future. And let us prepare ourselves, even though we have a lot of little oppositions here, little difficulties here. Even though as a pastor I fail many times, to be very honest with you. I speak this way. That's the way how the Lord wants us to. But many times I'm also a fragile guy. I just falter and go down. How to go about it? Why is this happening? Things like that. But this lesson encouraged me once again, no stopping. Let's go forward. Because there's a greater coming to be fought in the future days. But you know what's the good news? The Lord has come back. One thing is, He wants you and me to be with Him, so that we will see the mighty power of God. Any questions? Anything that I forgot? You can remind me. I know all of you read the Sabbath lesson. Yes, sir.
On Thursday, actually, the third lesson, I just want to bring up
Sure.
something that I would struggle with is when we talk about that. And in my life experience, I realized that if one truly is following Christ's examples, you're not going to have that many battles to begin with.
Okay.
And when I speak with people and they say, oh, I've got problems at home, I've got problems with, God help me, I'm like, why? If you are truly trying to be Christ-like, why do you have so many problems? Being a Christian does not eliminate all your problems, but you certainly cannot have that many problems. And so I think in my life, I look at it and I say, if I see myself having a lot of problems, it's not because the world is evil, it's because I'm not doing something right, I think. And I just want to say that, and I get that a lot where people say that they're overwhelmed by the problem. And I think that is not because God is not paying attention, it's probably because I'm not paying attention to Him. I'm living a life where I'm not representing Him in my world, therefore I have so many problems. You don't check, when the check engine light comes on in your car, you don't take care of it. You're going to have a problem sooner or later on the highway.
Yeah.
And then you can't simply blame God for that. And in the same way, I see when people have, including myself, when I have too many problems, it's usually because I stopped praying rigorously, or my relationship with God, or my thought process is not Christ.
Yesterday, I think so, well, not yesterday, I was talking to one of my Hindu friends, a Buddhist friend, and he's also working in the elderly home, and he mentioned a statement. You see these old people, they're here for 80 years, 85 years, 90 years, and they're so struggling so much. And he asked me a very startling question. He said, it is because of their past sins. It is because of their past sins these people are suffering this pain. Don't forget, I don't want to be on the judgmental seat. We can't judge anybody. The only thing what we know from God's word is that, when many people suffer for various reasons, we don't know. But God has allowed that to happen in their lives. And we can't be on the judgment seat. But I told him one thing. He's a Buddhist. Okay. He's a Buddhist. And I said to him one thing. God loves everybody. It's very hard. Okay. Most probably that is his cup of tea, I don't know. That is instilled. But I know that one thing. In spite of that, God is there next to you. We pray for him. What I want to say is this, brother. The conclusion of the whole matter why I would read is this. Yes, many times when you try to go closer with God, Satan will not allow you to be at peace. That's one. The second problem is sometimes when problems have been created by our own selves. We have created our own selves and we get into a problem and then try to blame God for everything. But sometimes God allows certain things to happen in our life, like for example Job. What mistake he done? What happens with you and me when we look at people like Job? And what the friends were telling us absolutely the truth. Pastor is trying to find out, you might be having one sin somewhere. You might have something. When the person was sitting at the pool of Bethesda, what happened? What did God say? Neither he has sinned, neither anybody has sinned. It is only to glorify God. So we know how God looks into it. But one thing is for sure, when there is opposition, when there are problems, just stick on to the promises of His word and you will not be forsaken. That's all. That's all. The conclusion of the whole matter is that. Stick on to Him. Keep on moving forward. Don't stop. Trusting in His name, just like having this word and working. It will give you the confidence.
Since you mentioned Buddha, it's been said Buddha lived during the time of Esther.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Okay, most probably. Yes, it makes sense though. It
Like
makes sense.
Confucius, Buddha,
Yeah.
they all lived during
Yes.
Esther, Nehemiah.
Yeah. They had their own way of trying to find enlightenment for themselves and things like that. I think God would have worked through them also. We don't know. Any other questions? Did we complete the whole thing? I guess so. Anyway, God is so gracious and God be with you, and as we contemplate this word, let's be strong enough in the Lord. Let the Lord take care of our arms in spite of all the proportions that we get. Now the Sabbath will all be reconnected. And I request Sister Mary to come forward.